think I've actually, for the first time, got the audio and the voice all balanced out before I started streaming. Got one dude already here. Keck, original. Good job, Paradox. Alright, so today we are streaming 9 Lives in the Rooster Files. My second and third campaigns. Probably my weakest two, in my opinion. 9 Lives is so short, that's why I'm adding Rooster Files into it, so we actually have like a full video to do it. And yeah, there's a dev commentary. I'll be roasting my own stuff and talking about what went wrong. Hello Plank, hello Zaya the fanboy. Yeah, you finally get to see one on time. Hopefully this goes all the way through. My mom's coming back from the hospital soon, so they kick down the door, I'm gonna have to help with them. So let's hope. Game's too loud, mic's too quiet. Okay. Hello, gamer. Alright, let's do that, and then let's actually lower this more, bring that up. Yeah, appreciate you telling me. Hopefully you're able to hear what I was saying. Also, Rooster Files is my favorite by you. Oh, really? Yeah. It was my first attempt at a serious campaign. And I still like the story. I still like what my initial idea with it was, even if I just don't like most of the levels. Anyways, so let's start with 9 Lives. Got a couple of you here. Alright, so 9 Lives. So, I know 9 Lives is my worst thing I've ever made. It's also the most popular thing I've ever made, and I kind of figured that was gonna happen when I used the cat. Like, people are just gonna care more about it. Because they're like, oh, cat, that's funny. I saw someone like uploaded it. I think it was Drake Mechia who's provided me with some of the best reskins from Hotline Miami. Just so original, so well done. And I think his cat is still his magnum opus, because of just, it's so small and so creative how he holds the weapons. And when I saw it and I played with it the first time, I was like, I gotta jump in on that. I gotta get in on this cat and make a campaign before anyone else does. So like that same weekend, the same weekend that it came out, I like spent the whole time making this 3-level low effort campaign. Like I knew these levels weren't even good at the time making these. Like I literally like purposefully used that shitty like compressed image of the cat holding an AK. Like it's very self-aware and me just trying to bandwagon on it and, you know, show people it. And it took a while for someone else to use the cat. I know a Russian campaign used it at one point, but then also we got Garfield campaign by Puzzleblocks, which is better than this, let's be honest here. Yeah, so I'm also using the Rooster Files music mod for 2 reasons. One, so halfway after I beat this, I don't have to like stream me installing it and stuff. No one wants to see that. But also, I know Blue's video got muted at some point. Hi, Gil. The story of Rooster Files was interesting, but like, eh. Yeah, I know you don't like that one. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like Blue's video got muted at one point because it used the Carpenter Brett song. So I don't think Rooster Files had any Carpenter Brett. I can't even hear the music. There we go. Mr. Mittens. I kind of like named the cat too. He's like forever Mr. Mittens to everybody. I guess he's now Garfield, but for a while everyone was calling him Mr. Mittens. My Mr. Mittens. It's raining cats and dogs outside already with just a terrible pun. Afraid you can't go out to get you catnip, which, you know. The catnip thing was just purely to have motivation for the cat to, like, leave the house. The music mod for Rooster Files was really good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely agree that it doesn't use a ton of, like, the synthwave, like the dark synth. I try to keep it more Hotline Miami 1. In terms of its music, and I think I did pretty good with it. There's nothing I can do. Pretty simple setup. Yeah, also, this house, I mean, you might recognize it from Rooster Files. I didn't even think about that, but yeah. This house is also in Rooster Files. I made it for Rooster Files, and it was like around the time of me making that cutscene that I put off Rooster Files to make this real fast. Will you please sign my sock, Rob Gamer? Yeah, send it to me, buddy. Look at all the little details. This is like the first time I've been able to use the elevator chair for like its actual purpose. Every other time I just place it and use it for my notepad item. And then the disabled people toilet. Also my first foray into notepad, because this is the henchman, but it uses the bus. Oh yeah? Yeah, I'll make some socks for you guys, the kind that like they look normal when they're flat, but when you put them on it stretches the face out all derpy. Oh yeah, there's the arming animation. The fact that he did so much effort into this mod, that even like the animation of the cat pulling a pistol out of its ass, it's so perfect. And this campaign does not do it justice. But like look at that. He spins completely, and then he holds it with his tail, and he spins it to cock it. I mean, I love it so much. Let's do the execution. The little cat's just slamming his head. And on a shirt, bobbers are my favorite YouTube. You never explain why no one questions why a cat is on a bus. Oh yeah, is that a plot hole? Like the hammer. Yeah, he made the hammer and dog one, but apparently that one's not as good. I checked it out briefly. I didn't notice any flaws. I didn't look that close. Also, I love that he rides the skateboard. Like, I think Patriots or some mod is actually making it so like the character can ride the skateboard or walk with it holding, and if he's on the skateboard, he can knock people over with it. It's just, oh, I love that. Yeah, it's Miami, dude. Like I remember seeing like something on Reddit where it's like a dog would always get on the bus and ride it to a location for food. People just let it happen. I feel like people would be charmed to see a cat on the bus. Just not so charmed if they knew the cat's intention. Damn it! I was trying to knock him down with the skateboard. Nobody questions that people bring weapons on the bus. Yeah, you're not supposed to bring a weapon on the bus. But you can totally do that as Richard. Just swish it with his tail. Alright. I gotta get that fat first. That was the last guy. Okay, well, I mean, you should have played this campaign by now to see the little cat do the ollie execution. I love it so much. It was blood life. Okay. Someone's asking me. I think someone asked me more about. So you have the Rooster Files soundtrack mod? I do have it on because I'm playing it next. For a while, it got taken down like completely. So I screwed something up and replaced it with the Fear the Reefer campaign's soundtrack, which was a mistake. But I finally was able to fix it with the help of somebody. Don't remember who. So yeah, you just like I could have like sprited that bag as being cat food or something, but this is very early on. This is back when I was like, oh, I can take other people's mods and make a thing. Like, after Human Being 2, I finally was like, felt comfortable enough moving on. Nutting to this is good. Hell yeah. Gonna nut it to some cat mods. Hey. Oh, you're just a cat. See a pussy cat. Notice the word pussy in there. Add the slight sexual tension that we get here. With our heavy erotic overtones. This is the part you want to nut to, Lenny. Yeah. Being visited by that nice young man. Such a handsome detective. Anyways, I see you've gone and got your own cat food. Good kitty. My grandma needs some rest after Mr. Pardo's visit. Gross. So I like to think that the story is in the same canon as Rooster Files with old Pardo over here. like after the events of Rooster Files, he ends up shacking up with her. Why did Pardo walk to an Neon Void? Because I didn't know how to make characters disappear yet. I did not know this. Yeah, she's sitting in the elevator chair now. Sweating intensifies. I'm surprised the official Twitter hasn't tweeted Corey Porno yet. I think that was a bit different than Steamed Hams. But someone should tweet at them my screenshot of the title mod that I changed. But I think enough people bitched at them. They don't have to do that again. Yeah. Those hoodlums next door are having a party. It's too loud for me to sleep. Yeah. Like, the henchman is like... I don't know why he chose the hench cat. I mean, the pun is good, and the cat pulling out the silencer and the skateboard is fun. Like, the only reason henchman's worth anything is that he can spawn with a pistol and can have the access to the skateboard. Like, the skateboard's like the only saving grace he really has, is being an interesting character. Otherwise, he's just another like jacket clone. Like, people in most campaigns just use him as filler. And a big part of that is because Gang is the only faction he can fight, which is severely limiting. It'd be super easy to have ported him to be able to fight Mafia, I think. Especially since he is just brown Mafia, like the sprites for like holding weapons and whatnot. It'd be so easy. But I don't know, I've done enough spriting in my lifetime to know why Dennis, like when people were like, hey Dennis, can you make all the sprites for every character to fight every faction? And he was like, no. The henchman has sad song level, Rob, so 10 out of 10. I refuse to play old campaigns. I lost my internet when this was posted, never played, rip me. It's still a classic. Look at all those wall notches. I just didn't even think about them. I can't believe it. Can't believe I let all these wall notches go for so long. My favorite comment about this is from Danny Judas, where he's like, "Oh, it's like Hush, but with a cat," because like it's legit Gang with the same like Joker art style. I never even played Blessed yet. I had given up on that campaign like on level 1, so I never even seen it. I went back, tried to play it after playing Redux, and it's just like, oh, that's a nightmare. But he's one of the 2 who can bash in gang heads. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's that. The bash execution's not the most interesting. You can see it a lot. Did it all throughout Hotline Miami 1. Not that the stomp is that great either. I don't know. I tried to do like a flying elbow, like for human being, like the execution, but there's just not enough spot, like frames, nor room for like the full body to like do this flying ground slam. Hammer does have he has his own little mini hammer that he gets to whack people with. To be honest, I hate people who want to have all characters fight all factions because fighting is like a process. I mean, no, I understand why he's not doing it. Would have been nice to have. But I understand the point of not wanting to do it. Every character has to fight every enemy they're worthless. No, they're not worth it. I mean, the community ended up having to make workarounds. Good old Yas and Jaden doing faction swaps for almost everything. Fighter has the best executions, indeed. Tony the Tony. Yeah, hey Tony. Yeah, human being with exceedingly long. Alright. So I was planning on yesterday streaming that Dawn of the Dead campaign. Oh yeah, totally forgot the notepad, the bus back for that. So it's just the henchman car. I was gonna play the Dawn of the Dead campaign today, or yesterday, I mean. but I wasn't able to stream just because people were home. I had to keep helping with stuff. Kept getting interrupted. But I ended up playing it by myself, and it was really good for a first timer. Like, the levels were crap, but just the whole idea of it, like, they're really rough. But the fact, like, you know, just it had charm. It had some new person charm. Put in Make Me Real 2. I don't even have Make Me Real 2. Dawn of the Dead campaign looks cool, but zombie sprites look weird. Yeah, they're green or blue. Thanks for making that tutorial series. I'm working on a campaign. Awesome. Definitely trying to keep people making campaigns, and I definitely think it helped, because I see a lot of people in credits and stuff thanking me. And, you know, that's good. I'm glad that I was able to, like, help people, because, like, when you first look at the level editor and you have no idea what you're doing, it's just like, whew. Also, Corey ship, lol. Oh yeah, I did ship Corey with the sun. I thought I had ended that making fun of a human being, having her date an asshole like Jake, and then threatening to ship her with Hammer before I chucked her out a window. Like, the whole point of that was to be like, the shipping is gay. She's a terrible character. Like, I almost said something more about her personality. It just never fit in the dialogue. It was fun to kill people with intestines. Yes, that's the whole reason I like that campaign. I fully expect you to beat Spencer and make good Game Maker modding tutorials in a few years. Maybe. Danny has to teach me how to make Game Maker. Because I don't know anything about it yet. He's the one who should do it. Or you, SR, you know pretty well. I tried Tony Abyss's studio port with my laptop, and it wouldn't open. It just kept crashing. And I've even tried any of the other game makers, like 7 or 8. I don't know. Just waiting for the Bitcoin to crash. Some graphics processors aren't costing a fuckload. What's Richard's ID again? I don't know the ID off the top of my head. Yeah, I know he's teaching you. I'm watching him do that. I need to get in on it. Quiet. There's so much more quiet now. Wanted this to be sinister, but also goofy. Another thing I thought this campaign did well was the lack of dialogue. Like, there's really not too much dialogue to get through. It's just enough to push this goofy little story along. I'm seeing this more and more, and on some campaign that I reviewed recently, it had a very convoluted story, and they have to get through it all with only 2 lines per click, and so it can get tedious to go through a really long, like, spiel of someone, and I'm guilty of it too. That's what I liked about this campaign. I said it's just the bare minimum. Also, look at that visual storytelling. That dude that I knifed. His blood's mopped up, and he's in the bathroom. I mean, a lot of acid. I don't even know if you can overdose on acid. But no, I got you, fam. I mean, some kid being like really upset that I used this, like fucking normies, and it was clearly satirical. Like, anyone who uses fam unironically, genuine idiot. Fuck. I'm gonna get copyright strike, but I put the music on it, like, partially to avoid this song. I forgot I didn't replace it. Whatever. This uses also Yossarian's. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't remember the hospital from the first game too well. But I think he just ported most of these sprites from that level into stuff. But he did a good job of it, and he had a nice comprehensive list. I remember checking that list for all the things. It's very useful for hospital levels. But, yeah, look at this. Just 2 types of tile. That's all I used. Because it's such a lazy thing. I bet Jasper Byrne is watching the stream right now. I know several people who did acid, and one of them said they had trapped for like 12 hours. Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope that if it wasn't possible to overdose on acid, it would be like, well, people just assume that grandma's an idiot when it comes to drugs. Using other people's music for free. Oh yeah, I guess a lot of people don't know about the whole Jasper Byrne controversy. It wasn't even a controversy, it was like a 30-minute thing. I'll go into detail about it in just a sec here. I just want to rant about how I used to do stairs. This is so trash. Don't do stairs like I did stairs. Please don't do stairs like I did stairs. Please make both sides equal width. Don't do this. This is trash, 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 trash. Man, like I literally did like the laziest square layout and then filled it with Yas's mods. Just not good. This is back when I would like design the full level before playtesting it once. Also a bad choice. But I like those stairs, Rob. You like them? Why are you liking these stairs? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so the Jasper Byrne thing. So everyone's favorite editor boy, Lego Mac, who is just a really sweet soul. He can't bait you, alright. He just do level design 101. I mean, they're really not hard to get through. I've never actually gotten stuck on them. That's kind of why I used them for a while, is because that was like my solution to not getting stuck in transitions. Anyways, I'm getting distracted by the chat. So everyone's favorite Lego Mac, he's got like the most popular thing on the workshop, which is Snowfall. And so he, come on. This is so trash. No. And so he used like Jasper Byrne's one of his songs for the score screen. Like, and if you know who Jasper Byrne is, he made Dust, which is the Hotline Miami 2 vanilla score screen. So we just took a different one of his songs for his score screen, and then yeah, that's with Mac. Prepare for the smack. Yeah, and so then he like Jasper's initial comment was like really rough to him. He was like, "You're just spreading out files of my music for free? Like, I'm not an indie dev. Like, have you no shame?" Like he accused Lego Mac of having no shame. It's like, dude, it's a mod. Do you not know? Like, do you not know how that works? Like, I went off on him on Twitter. A bunch of people went off on Twitter. It looked like what Jasper Byrne had initially assumed was that Lego was like, "Oh, the game goes better with this music. Here's like a flawless audio, like perfect download for it." Like, I don't think he understood that in order to extract the the music file from like like it's so much work to steal music that way. You have to take the rip from Mood Made Dust. Oh, I think he did. Okay, maybe not Hotline Miami 2. Maybe the first game score screen music. Point is, like, essentially a different song doing the same thing for Jasper Byrne. And so Jasper Byrne was like, why are you handing out free music? But really what it is, you go to a website where he already gives his music out for free, like YouTube or SoundCloud. You download it, then you convert it to MP3 if it's not already, then you convert it to .ogg, then you put it into the WAD Explorer and send that out. And so if someone wants to steal that, they have to take it. They have to take the WAD Explorer, take the WAD, open in the WAD Explorer, figure out which file it is, because like it doesn't change the name. So if you replace Dust, it still says Dust in the files. So figure out which song it was, then extract it, and now you have like the most compressed, shitty like way to steal music ever. And like, you know, it is Tony Chan put it. Whoops, sorry for growing your audience for no cost, for no money myself. Like, sorry. Like, it was just a really dumb thing to get upset at somebody for. And so he backtracked on that pretty quickly and started making the argument that, like, it's my music, it's personal to me. I should have a say in what my music gets used with. Which, that's more fair. I would say, welcome to the internet. That's not how it works. If you put something up on YouTube for free, like, it's gone. Like, I mean, but also, like, but it's not like we're using it. It's not like he was an artist that, like, never heard of Hotline Miami before. His music's been in the game, so, like, I don't think it can be a moral reason. Like, especially Max Campaign, it has nothing offensive in it. It's not nude Corey mod. Like, if what's his name used a music mod for nude Corey mod, and someone got upset for that, you could see the argument, but not for Snowfall. And then, like, his final, like, argument after he backtracked from that was like, oh, well, I just think you should use smaller artists to help grow their name. But, like, at that point, it was his damage control. I don't know. I love Jasper Britton's music, though. Ghost Drives is a great album. Just kind of being a dumbass there. And luckily, he was smart enough to back off. Because, like, when I first saw that initial comment and everyone was, like, raising hell in the Discord, I was like, oh, God, like, the entire workshop's gonna fall apart. This is it, boys. Back up your levels. It's all going away. I found Jasper's new album because of Snowfall. Yeah, like, Lego including his song did nothing but help the kid. Or whatever. I don't know. But, unfortunately, it's made Lego Max super nervous about stuff, and so he'll be like asking permission for all the artists for Red Star, which in my opinion is a waste of time. But it's like him wanting to be moral about it, and I get it, but it seems impractical to me, especially since like this happened a couple weeks ago at this point, and he's still only heard back from a couple artists. Like. And he actually hasn't gotten any no's. He's gotten a couple, like, enthusiastic yeses, which is great. But Spencer Yan once said it's better to ask, and this is a common quote, but I remember him saying it in regards to music. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission with these things, especially if it's a free mod. They're not going to sue you. Like, the worst that can happen is they ask you to remove the music WAD, I guess. Like, I don't even think they can remove the thing from the workshop, since it's not in the actual file. Whoever put Tripodon and Madness, thank you. Yeah, Blue discovered that guy. I finished the music mod for him, but like Blue had a ton of music in a playlist, and I just chose from it. Workshop War 2. I would like to see a Workshop War 2. I don't know. I'd like to see Deep Red 2. That's the only thing that Suited Fox can bring that would be good to the world. I don't know. I think it's spoiled. I think he's become too self-aware that he's trash. I don't know. Recently, all I've seen him do is leave reviews for people's workshop levels, and it annoys me. One, because he has no authority or like knows what he's talking about, but two, he yeah, but two, like, he's like leaving letter scores. He's like, oh, A-, A+. It's like, no, like, I hate reviews that give like an arbitrary score. That's always been me, though. Not a fan. I always love this ending. It pissed so many people off. If you read the comments on 9 Lives, it upset them. Sorry it took so long to finish that level. I was too busy telling a story about Jasper Byrne. Not even reading the chat here. I think they're just talking about Deep Red. Hotline Miami is far from dead. I hope so. Leaving out letter numbers. Okay, no, leaving letter number scores for fucking workshop posts. Yeah, like, no. Like, even for real games, I don't like it. Like, my favorite reviewer is called GGG Man Lives. He does the best reviews because he just talks about his opinion and says if he liked the game or not. Like, not the 6.5 or whatnot. Like, it's really dumb, and I get why the big companies do it, because they want to get their scores on Rotten Tomatoes and whatnot, like, to gain traffic. But, like, I don't know, if you listen to an IGN review for and like actually like listen to them, you're an idiot. Don't ever listen to GameStop or them. The most I ever, the biggest reason I ever watched any of their reviews is because they usually get them out earlier than anyone else. But it's like taking their opinion with the biggest grain of salt because it's likely bought and paid for, or they're just an idiot who doesn't know what they're talking about. Rob talking about controversy. That's yeah. Plus, like, just the whole debate. Oh, you gave this game an 8, but this game a 9. It's like I don't know why you would do that. Like, the little guy seems to have bitten off more than he could chew. Curiosity, but on tests. And I just wanted like an excuse to show off that he went to the extra mile of making the cat like freak out faces. I love it. I love it so much. Look at that dangling eyeball. This kid's a prodigy. For F6, someone give me a shovel. Zero punctuation. I don't think you should listen to Zero Punctuation, especially if he gives the game a negative review, which is like always, because he's more comedy. Like, if he recommends something, you might want to look at it, because it means it's really good, like Spec Ops The Line. But I think he's obviously overly too harsh for a reason. It's because it's funnier. It's a lot easier to make jokes about how bad a game is than how good a game is. Yep, and then she dies. The end. I was thinking of making a 9 Lives 2 with that dog, but nothing ever formulated. So, anyways, that was 9 Lives. Goofy campaign. Got me a little bit of fame because it rose to the top quickly. One again. Workshop War 2 or Human Being 3? Human Being 3 is going to come eventually. I promise. Eventually. At some point. I'm working on it. See, here's the demo. Had 4 levels. Next, we're doing the Rooster Files. So the Rooster Files, like, I didn't mean it to become as big as a project as it did. 10 lives. 18 lives. 9 lives 2, 10 lives. Actually, I never even considered calling it 10 lives. It was, like, people always joke 18 lives. Or I was gonna, like, recolor the cat to be, like, a zombie. And then I was gonna use, like, the grandfather as, like, a mad scientist who, like, resurrects the cat. And then the dog is like Pardo's dog, and like I had something going, but it just never formulated into anything real. Especially since I got more excited with other things. Are you still going to do the Reaper mod, or have Russians abducted your baby? I mean, the Reaper mod's very far out. It's mostly just ideas jotted in my head. The biggest thing I have is I want a Evan playstyle that can actually pick up guns, and so like the story. Like, it was like you have to get clues, and you have a better chance of getting clues from interrogations, like after the floor is cleared if you leave people alive. So the more people you have alive, the more... I shouldn't be saying these ideas. The Russians are going to steal them. Yeah. But, it's very far out. Because if I'm going to learn Game Maker, I think I'm going to port the entire Human Being 3 and 1, 2, and 3 into Game Maker, just to teach myself the code without having to make a new story or levels. I think that'd be the best way. So Reefer's like, don't worry about Reefer. It's go a long way out, long after they forget about whatever this mod is. I hope it's good though, the Russian mod. Anyways, I like how Pathos cover is just the cover from Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, and then I even used for Human Being. I used that same cover again. What do you think? What do you think Denton is working on now? Apparently, it's a sci-fi side scroller thing. I'm looking forward to it. I imagine it'll probably be great. They've taken their time on it. I bet they took like a year off or so after Hotline Miami 2 because it seemed to like exhaust them, especially with the level editor. And so I don't think they've been working on it since like the day Hotline Miami 2 ended. But I'm looking forward to it. eventually. We'll hear about it one day, and they'll probably announce it like pretty close to the release date because they made the opposite. They did the opposite with Hotline Miami 2, and it was just a nightmare for them. For just years of kids being like, "When's Hotline Miami 2 coming?" So we'll see. I have high hopes for it. Prepare for the Sector X Level Editor remake. I cannot wait. Anyways, let's focus on Rooster Files. Rooster Files was I just had the idea of like Pardo investigating Jacket or investigating a crime, like you're the criminal, and that's kind of like the gimmick of this entire campaign is that you do the killing and then you investigate the same killing. And that was one that was nice because I didn't have to make an outro each time. I could just recycle the same thing. But also, like I never saw that kind of design before, and so I made Jacket just like this pretty boring serial killer. He's, I mean, he's doing his Jacket thing. It's definitely not canon. Took a couple elements like the Hawaii War, and like a new personal rule for me with narrative, and I think that a lot of you listening should take this too, is don't make your characters Hawaii War veterans. It's not a bad thing. It's just an overused thing. And I mean, especially with the Hotline Miami world, like you don't need you don't need an excuse for why they're so good at killing people. One had better levels though. Rob wins that Vietnam level. You ain't getting no Vietnam level. Rob, we should make a Vietnam level. I mean, I feel like one is better levels. No, 2 is better in almost every way. Almost every way. I don't know. I've said that Hotline Miami 1, or Hotline Miami 2 is a better video game, but the first game's a better experience. Especially for your first playthrough. Like the second game, your first playthrough, a lot of people came from it that they didn't like it. And it's like, well, you can call them an idiot for forever, but it doesn't mean they like the game. Like it's almost like an acquired taste. You play it till you see how it's good. Especially once you get good at it. Because like your first playthrough, it's a lot of fear and like scared about windows. I understand the fear, especially from jumping from the first game to the second game. The second game's clearly superior. It takes a little bit longer. So the first game, it's like you can just jump. An average person can jump into it and have fun. The levels felt samey with the apartments. Yeah, first playthrough is fantastic, but like going back to it, you're just like you just terminate all of them 2 seconds and leave. You didn't like New Vegas on your first run. That's interesting. I love New Vegas. What was it going on? Anyways, so Rooster Files. Still like the story ideas. Still love the music mod. I still hadn't nailed down levels. The levels were... I went for a more realistic style with these. Than like human beings. And like I haven't really figured out level design yet. It also didn't help that like the Blue Doctor was like the one guy on Steam that I talked to, and I like you, Blue, but you don't know level design. And so he loved Frenetic, and like everyone else hated Frenetic. And I'll talk more about that level later because it's like the controversial one. That one and Lacerations with the dog pit. Is there ways you can duplicate less copy stuff in the editor? There is. You can just go straight into the files. Yeah, you can just copy stuff straight into the files, and I was gonna show you, but my review's covered. You can go watch those. Anyways, let's start with Poltergeist. Stolen cover from Google Images. Okay, Mikhail. City's still beautiful. I tried to add some humanity to the mobsters here. Just a little brief glimmer. It's also like the most interesting level story-wise, because like that rattiness is supposed to be the sound of Jacket fucking everyone up in there. So like, you know, try to give them an example of why they joined the mob, besides just being bad boys. I didn't know how to do shooting. And I kind of wanted to be a mistress. I didn't want bullets to just fly out through there. Blat! Good old stereotype Russian swearing. Would you mind telling us more about Madness's story? I'm gonna do a Madness live stream, so I'll go into more detail about it. Because the Madness's development history is fun too. Because that was a collab campaign with Blue at the helm. Yeah, what campaign is this? I want to play it so I can one-shot everyone with Silence Pistol. I mean, if you already know. Artyom! Yeah, I totally stole it from the Metro. Poltergeist. What mask should we go with? Let's go with Don Juan. I almost always run with Richard, because purist, but I love Don Juan because it's funny to watch them just kill themselves. Can I kill dogs? Nope. Okay. Just, terrible level design. It was like, oh, I can't have guns on this level for story reasons, except for the Silence Pistol. So we have shit like this. Also, I don't know if you told, but I paint filled the tool from this color to this color, and I forgot to fill in here and here. And I see it every time I look back at this campaign, and it drives me nuts. This is still my favorite level aesthetically, though, from Rooster Files. Much more simple. I have a big habit when making levels to make them like use up the entire player space every single time. This is like the first level that I consciously went against that. Even later in this is like the only one that even does it. I was actually sort of contributing to Manus before you took over. Yeah, really? Yeah, Blue had his fingers in a lot of people's pies, and like a lot. He was like he knew a lot more people than I did. I still don't even feel like I'm that connected with the community. I know there's a lot of people. Like there's the whole 50B friend group that I know nothing hardly about. Don't know DB, don't know anyone. Never got involved with Spencer, which is probably a good idea not to be involved with Spencer. What are you guys talking about? I need to replay Rooster Files at some point. Yeah, you should. It's a classic. It's also pretty hard, in my opinion. Some of the later levels in Frenetic. This is my favorite song from the first game. I just had to use it for something. I wouldn't advise really using Hotline Miami 1 songs in your music mods, but I felt like this felt Hotline Miami 1 enough to justify it. Got stuck the part we had to run into the flamethrowing at the beginning. What? Quick post how many Hotline Miami community pies you have your fingers in. And then there's these two dudes. Not Idol, because I don't know why. Do the Mafia not have Idol? I'm blanking on that. Whatever. They gotta die. I don't even think I killed anyone with the door. A+. I always liked this dude's character design. That's why I wanted to include him. Burns. Why don't you see for yourself? Like, despite it not being the best looking campaign, I think I did a good job with the cinematics. See for yourself. And this is also back before I cared about, like, not to care, like, I was learning Notepad and learning a little bit about mods. We hadn't discovered the Notepad blood pool effect, so that's why I had to like mod them in with logos. And it bothers me because you can like see the shadow right here. Staircases, We were talking about the staircases earlier, Brick. I always skip frenetic. Jesus, this was a massacre. See, this is the story. The neighbor said it wasn't any louder than it usually is at 3 a.m. Only reason we even know it happened is a stray bullet hit a third story, and that was like supposed to be like one of the bullets that went through the two guys upstairs talking, like hit a third story on the other side. I need the bodies. Like, I think that's pretty good sparse dialogue. I think that's an important thing to have, because you have way too much dialogue, people just click, 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 click. It gets difficult. Like, I would aim to keep your sentences within one click, for the most part. I think you should try frenetic as a concept again. Yeah, I might. I actually made a harder version, like, that you could full combo just specifically for Blue, because he loved that level. And the fact that I showed it to him and he loved it was like the whole reason it exists. So blame Blue for why I didn't change that level. Also, yeah, you can't walk around these bodies because didn't know how to make them flat yet. Notepad behaviors. I think I might have figured it out at the very end and just didn't want to bother and go back. Also, because if any of you ever tried to put some of the dead bodies down with the items tab, you'll notice that like you can only have like one type. So despite the Hotline Miami 2 having awesome gore with like tons of variation, you can't do that with these. And that was like the biggest drawback. I hated it so much. Drive reference? Hell yeah. This campaign was a bit repetitive to you. Yeah, you think so? I wanted for a slow boil. Like, he slowly figured out. So, like, first level, he has no idea what's happening. Second level, they get a little bit of an idea. I think now walking over bodies works for this campaign rep. No, it definitely doesn't. It's not like it was a glitch that they fixed. It wasn't a glitch that they fixed. It was, like, we just figured out how to change their behaviors with Notepad. I think the repetitive combat is pretty good because you play as Jacket almost the entire time, fighting only Mafia. But I wanted to make I wanted to make a Jacket campaign, an interesting spin-off of the first game. Alright, and that was that. And so you didn't even need to head up here, but I just like the idea of like showing like the intro, the main, and the outro all show the same scene from 3 different perspectives. And I like how much more brutal things could get. Like I threw him through a window, and like I kicked down a door. I did enjoy dirtying up the levels that I had just made. Danaton just got lazy and didn't feel like separating NPCs and bodies. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, the level editor was a massive undertaking for him, I understand. But is it doing this thing again? This level in particular has a glitch where like it won't the go to car won't always work. But luckily that was an outro. So get a little Pards gameplay to it. Yeah, you do. 2 levels. And 1 hammering level because Jacket can't fight cops. Like I remember like not even realizing that till it was time to make that level and being like, oh my god, because I just assumed that he could, since he can do it in the first game. So thank God for Sparta making a Jacket to hammer mod. Hammer to Jacket, however you want to say it. Thank God for that. Ring. This is also I recycled this for Human Being 2 because because it was like part of his house to me. Take an F guard. By this, they've grown so close. It's so awkward. The way I like. I didn't even put like a period. I don't know what I was doing here. Parta's got a GF. Yeah, he has a wife in this campaign. He's a different character from the story one, essentially. Gang war. So they're still thinking gang war. I like because like it's theorized in the second or the first game, and the second game's like 1980 flashbacks. It's the Colombians were working with the Russians, which is why we had the black dudes in the Colombian outfits. Mrs. Pardo left him. Priorities. What's HOI for? I don't recognize that. But I'm glad you're watching my stream. Could be a rogue element, or a third party one. Rumors are going around about the Yakuza eyeballing me. I mean, I did consider having the Yakuza come in, but it just didn't fit the story. Didn't make any sense. Because I was gonna have, like, Pardo raid the Yakuza in, like, this offshoot, and that was what was gonna kill Burns at first. And I decided to cut that and move it more towards, like, focus it around this one story. Didn't change it to the Skullgirl outfit. Yeah, if you haven't watched the Human Being 1 playthrough by Dinaton, like, I've added full English translation. Like, you just have to go to, like, to the closed captions. Someone did that for me. Really appreciate it. It is really funny, because, like, the campaign before they played it, Hammered was, like, made out to be an abusive asshole. And, like, and so they're, like, really worried that I was gonna, like, paint Hammered to be an ass. Fucking love the car kitchen part. Appreciate you. I love that I like that you like that. I'm glad. That was my favorite joke out of it too. Oh yeah. Who should we go for this time? I almost always play it with the Rooster mask only, so I'm changing things up today. Gun didn't really help me at all, did it? Where's that guy? Find the counter. So like this is supposed to be a pawn shop, and like the whole idea was like, what's a seedy place that wasn't in the first game that I can replicate with stuff that they have? And I think this worked out pretty well. I can't think of a whole lot of pawn shops in the rest of the game. Or the rest of the workshop, I mean. Aubrey is my thing. I'm stealing your shit. It warms my heart that like 4 or 5 people had to ask how to get through this part because they didn't know about the shotgun wall. Like, haha, idiots. It's like, so like, because deep lore, like I was like, oh well, how do I justify including a whole bunch of assault weapons and stuff? Besides like not giving a fuck like I should have. Like, oh, let's up the ante with, like, they're actually protecting something illegal going on. You know, not a bad idea. Didn't somebody make a Colombian Chan? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Foos, you didn't make any schoolgirl outfits for in your Japan level. It's practically not even Japan then, is it? And we're right back. Everything's all shattered. Like, I thought I was done seeing this kind of shit after Hawaii. Like, almost every campaign in the workshop is now like, oh, I used to be a war vet in Hawaii. It's some sort of line like this. What is your favorite campaign, Rob? Of mine or of, like, workshop stuff? Because my favorites, I think, Blessed Redux. Obviously Snowfall, it's 2 quality. Hawaii flashbacks. Pink Fingers was pretty good, if a bit bland in color. So, I like my little subtle dream bits here. Proud of myself with this. That was part of the heck. Every campaign has to have a abandoned building, 2 apartments, an office or a bank, and some big hideout. Back in Alaska. There you go, Hunter Snowflake. Yeah, to answer your question, Asire, I would have to say Miami Horror. Anyways, so if you look closely, he transforms into like a sitting dead mafia guy. I thought that I was being clever there. But yeah, so slow burn about discovering the guy, or discovering Jack, I mean. Because first off, they had no idea what was going on. They thought it was just gang violence. And then after this intro here, they're like, it's like, oh, it's one dude, apparently, possibly. Also, you have you start to get a little indication that he's going a bit nuts. Bardo is. I remember seeing this cutscene and being creeped the fuck out because I didn't see the puppet fella change sprites. Haha, it worked. Yep, so here's the cat house. Mrs. Goldstein. This is the worst cutscene because it's so long. Like, I kind of did that intentionally because it was like, this is an old woman who like really wants to talk to people, like is looking for interactions, because she's lonely, and like that's part of the reason not to trust her credibility. Say a little bit more deep lore about Hawaii. I'm sorry, man, but Burns like, cut the shit, lady. Like, yeah, and so there's the cat. So I like to think that this is a prequel little bonus thing. Light gray car. Like a DeLorean, possibly a Bricklin. I legit had to like Google like what other cars have those kind of like gull-wing doors. The Bricklin was like the next most famous. She was lonely. Yeah, Pardo made her not lonely anymore after his wife left him for going crazy. A lone shadowy DeLorean driver. Also, I was too lazy and also just not good at spriting enough. That's really the real reason. So that I didn't trust. I would have done it if I trusted myself. To make Burns have an actual walk sprite, so his animation for walking. His animation for walking is like him bending over to pick something up, but like when he's moving, it looks like he's limping. And I thought about putting like a story element, like, oh, he was hurt in the war, Hawaii, and he limps everywhere. See, But I never included it. Because it was just unnecessary information. Yeah, so I included that here. Him talking about the lonely old lady. Everyone's going off about lasagna. Garfield. It was Mr. Mittens before Puzzle Box took him. Mr. Mittens. Belladonic. The word belladonic not a real word. It's something from a Queen song. I forget which one. Belladonic haze. But I thought it was a cool word. Damn it. Here, pick that up. Oh, I wanna... Okay, whatever. I love this song. This is actually, I think this is actually one of the 2 or 3 of the songs I took from the soundtrack of Bloodbath Kafkas, which was an actual like, you probably know about it. It's trash, but it actually had a really good soundtrack. I used to listen to it a lot because it like, I don't know, it had a lot of like, you know, underground Russian kind of synthwave composers that I was able to get a hold of. So I'm glad it exists purely to introduce me to some new good music like this. Also, look how I used to do bathroom walls with the destructible walls. And also, this was like my first notepad thing I ever did was this guy right here, the disco ball. I was so proud of getting it to work. I thought everyone would love me because how fancy a thing is. You know, I think Lego Mac beat me to it. With his fire up level. Alright, give me 1 second. Sorry guys. I had to take a phone call. What are you guys talking about? I bet I didn't miss anything good. Alright, actually, I think I cleared this one. There you go. You need to find a full ammo weapon. So yeah, this is bad. And trash. Also, I used like the soft walls because I just like the wall variation. I mean, you should definitely mod it if you're gonna do that. But wall variation's not a bad thing. It's just soft walls are like, I think too many people associate them with bathroom walls now, even though they weren't even the case in the first game. First game, you just shoot through them. I don't think I hit the fat guy. This guy trying to sneak up around me, huh? Yeah, also, I remember being super happy about the tile mods. Getting those zebra carpets for the first time. Oh yeah, this guy is too far stuck in the door. Gotta be careful of this. I see this still too much. Da-da-da-da-da. And like, I had always, the reason I never fixed them is, and I think the reason most people never fix them, is because they know where they are and they're idle enemies, so they kill them so fast. And so this is a good example actually as to why idols suck. It's because if you can't tell if they're a live enemy or stuck in a wall, because that's how bad idols are at killing you. Like you patrols for days, boy. Check out my Easter egg, my little Easter egg. All right, yeah. So should be the last one, huh? Nope. Who's left? Oh, hey, Lego. You missed. You missed a little bit. We played all through 9 lives. I picture Jake as some fat dude who goes to 4chan, gets tendies from McDonald's. I actually mentioned 4chan and human being too. I guess the thing that Jake does. I just wanted to make him like the biggest loser possible about it. Burns is still skeptical. The skeptical cop. Somehow Jack get knocked over an entire tree into here. These guys are pointing out how awesome the disco ball is. Who is this 4chan? Oh yeah, so look, check out my little Easter egg here with him sitting. That's the guy who I used for the puppet, because he had a notepad to puppet in, but I didn't. I mean, that guy looks so similar to him. It's also like the easiest investigation ever, because they've already figured it out for you. Also, I like how I included a vomiting person in almost like every single investigation. B-cups. Oh my god. The puppet is just taking a shit. I think I don't remember. I might have planned on I might have planned on having the puppet talk to him in that one. Took it out. I don't remember. Anyways, fun story about this intro is I forgot to do the music at first. And I didn't want to redo the entire cutscene. And so I tried, because this is like right when I'm learning Notepad, so I thought, well, maybe I can use Notepad to insert a music start command. It just fucked everything up, and so I had to redo the whole thing. Miami Jam. Not a good song choice for this one, specific because it's such a short little bit of music that, unless you're a speed reader, this cutscene's too long. Dressed like a fucking rooster. It's canon in this that he wears the rooster mask too. I just didn't want to take the other ones out because it's more fun to give them full choice. Here's Manny's cameo. He's just this random annoying journalist. Or not Manny's, Evan's cameo. Here's the Sun's cameo, enjoying some nice police water. I am now inspired to make a Jeff Dunham campaign where Jiffy is fighting himself apart. Carl storyline in HM3 win. We already got a Carl storyline. Carl and Payne. Yeah, I fixed my mistake. Our killer is a lone man in a Rooster mask. Yeah, so they saw the security footage, and if you paid attention, I put a bunch of security cameras in that last level because deep lore. Yes, this is a plot. The leaking to the press is a plot line that I didn't really do anything with. I thought because like a lot of crime dramas like this, the press get in the way trying to get the scoop, but I didn't go any further than this. I mean, really, the whole purpose of this cutscene was to like show Pardo's motivation for catching the guy, for catching I guess Jacket, and like why he thinks just because he like yeah. So I figured people would ask this question: why should we care if he's killing Russian scum? Paz got a point. Paz is actually the name of one of my friends from school. And so vigilante justice. So I thought this was a pretty good justification. That was the whole point of this. And God, like the open shocked face initially. So initially it was like the prosecutor and he had no hat, and like, but it's too fast. So when they're all walking, the cop with no hat, his like hair would magically change in every walking cycle. So I notepadded it back to our normal cop, but then it bothered me that he didn't have a hat on his face when his top down had a hat. So I changed it to like, once we figured out the cop face sprite notepad trick, we did that. Anyways, I don't like that face. I wish I'd kept it the other way. That's more of the story there. Actually, I think it'd be pretty funny to do this one for this level. I've never actually tried this. Anyways, Hex level. This is definitely the ugliest level I made. I mean, it's kind of intentional with the like it's like a back alley. Oh, hi, Matt. If you don't say anything embarrassing while I'm streaming. Oops. Damn it! Axe is like one of the most fun weapons. I just love the ability to decapitate people and like see the little heads roll. I like how I didn't notice any of the civilians. Oh yeah, this dude. And then we got our pizza boy. My headcanon makes his name George. What's the best way to go? Secret fence way. The fence way actually is the worst way because you're like fucked. Let's go this way. Do the pizza store. This is also pre me figuring out how to do soldier camp. So I was like, well, you can't do anything about the edges. Might as well just completely pretend that they don't exist. Come on. Also, like, I like how you can walk through the floor part of the half-light. Just look at this. Like, if you have a level with like tons of concrete like this, reconsider. Because it's so ugly. But Rob, it's realistic. Shut up. That half pipe just ate a man. What's the name of this song, Rob? It escapes me at the moment. I have the whole soundtrack like on YouTube listed. You can, if you go to the Steam page, you can look at it. It's an El Tiger song. It's by the same dude who did Burning Coals for the main game. Yeah, I forgot the dogs don't attack me with this mask. I was wondering why they weren't ever aggroing. Woo! Now they're not just robbing businesses. We're getting to where the real action's happening. The illegal dog fights. Michael Vickland. Look how every single wall, it's almost like I tried to include notches. Isn't that disgusting? The answer is yes. I think I just kissed Denison on the lips for including that, the flyback death. Let's see if I can get it again. Yeah, there it goes. The flyback where they go, oof! I love it. Burning Coals should have been a more chaotic level. I thought the strip club was pretty chaotic. First floor, you can't even see anything. Dudes are like hiding in the bushes that aren't solid. Off-screening you. Pretty chaotic. I feel like my right mouse button is giving up on me because I'm clicking it a lot and it's not going away. Yeah. I am a friend of nature. So yeah, this is the worst level design bit of mine, is not having a weapon here. Like, I should have spawned the knife here so you could quickly grab it and knife all the dogs. Because I like the idea of you like emerging from the dog pit itself and all the dogs just converging on you and you kill all the dogs. I love this. I can't believe I've never thought to try this before. But a lot of people complained about it. I don't know why you would enter a level. Like, I designed that floor that we were just on to, like, if you brought a gun with you, you've definitely probably used it all up. To motivate you into picking up one of the knives right next to it. But I don't know. Not the biggest deal. But I definitely wouldn't recommend anyone else doing that. It's definitely dog spam-ish. Especially since almost every playthrough I've seen, I feel like my level design encouraged people to go the dog route, which I don't think was entirely my intention, to encourage just that you could do it. Crap, any guns? Shit. Overplayed my hand with the shotgun. Got another one though. Cool. This is when I found the multiple dog death glitch. Yeah, it's kind of where I figured it out too. I think I taught that glitch to a lot of people. I think it's a funny one, especially since it's like it doesn't even replicate the same sprite. It's a different character every time. Goodness with you, leave me alone. Yeah, it seems like everyone ducked out of the chat. Rooster Files wasn't interesting enough. Maybe my 2 minutes off on my phone scared everybody away. Cause yeah, it's only just you and me, Zaya. What's the does it tell you how many people are watching it right now? Everyone come back. Watch me play video games. Let's check my Discord, see if anyone's yelling at me. Oh. Got 2 notifications, but neither of them are... It's just Tony Chan screaming at people. It's way higher than usual. They got real fucking mad, man. My favorite jacket weapon was the sledgehammer. I agree. I can't believe they didn't bring that back. I want it back. It is kind of sad, the lack of weapon variety in the game. Like, that was probably one of my favorite things from Hollow Memory 1 that they didn't bring over, was the random weapons. That, like, every time you die, it's a different weapon. So here's some moral grayness. Now that Jack gets saved this pizza boy, is he truly the villain that everyone says he is? Burns thinks it's because people are scared of the Rooster Man more than him, but it's because they like him. You're getting shit done. Yeah, Richard's a cop now. Actually, or not Rich, Richter is a cop now. I actually called him Johnson in this game, which I didn't even realize at the time that Burns' actual name in like the vanilla game is Johnson. So whoops. Spooky scene. Stopping killers is your job, eh, detective? What about the killers you're standing knee deep in? Try to stop them. Seems like the Rooster Man's way better at your job than you are. And he's now changed to a gang. I don't know why I did gang. The scissors were totally useless. The scissors were fun if you could execute them. Like, I mean, they're useless, yeah, but it was funny to kill a man with scissors. Same with the dart. Like, I was playing the original game recently, and I threw a dart at an enemy, and it just like went through him, and like a little bit of blood came up. Like, what's the point of this? Brap brap. If anyone knows what the brap brap reference is, get a gold star. So yeah, Pardo's been reviewing the tapes of the murders, getting angry. And then he swears. He says a bad word. Jake's always fun. Overpowered, but fun. I actually like the look of this level a lot. Cause like the goal was it was supposed to be like this like hippie mansion, like kind of taken over by the mafia. That's why you like the peace symbols over there. I'll show it to you in a sec. Oh, I had 2 crawlers. Big house, check. Yeah, but it's got cool pastel colors. Oops. I always like, this is one of the better looking bricks in my opinion too, is this like blue, turquoise. There's my peace symbol, or penis, depends on what you think. Also, I didn't use the actual swimming pool here because this entire campaign was made on my old laptop that could barely run anything, and so a lot of it was just me trying to desperately get it to run at full frames. So it's literally just the tiles. Also, these stairs don't have like the middle thing right here because I fucked up the transitions. I don't even know if it was me fucking it up, but like very often I would get stuck inside of them, and it would make me sad. Here's my little. I love my little octopus floor. It's just like the whole thing's just an image. Ah! An abandoned place, an office, and an apartment in the middle would be complete. Well, you're gonna get an abandoned place, admittedly. I don't think there's an office. There is an apartment though. It's half of the final level, or a couple floors at least. No one ever said anything about how cool this looked, but I thought it looked cool. Took me a while to like figure this one out, the rainbow wheel. Just saying, I stand by this is the best looking level in the campaign. This and that first one. I got the yin and yang thing here that I just look at. It looks like black and white Pac-Man to me, like he's eating a little dot here. It's an octopus. Oh yeah, there's another idol just stuck in a wall. Good job, Rob. Good level design. Never think it's weird that he never shot you, huh? That rainbow floor looks like something in MS Paint. Hey, fuck you, Ming. Did I really knock an enemy down with a throwable as Jake? Did y'all just say that? Not cool. What the hell? Is that with a knife? I never noticed that glitch before. Can this dude kill me? Yeah, he can. You see me. no Brandon for kinetic knife. Oh, it's always inconsistent. Yeah, it's weird that it would be even as Jake though. I hate that they do that. In that like, I hate that mechanic. Like, I don't know if they were worried it was gonna be overpowered or something. Like, it's just frustrating. No, wrong floor. Alright. Yeah, this was intended to be like the boss fight. Like, you had to loop it around, run up here, and then you had this to like run figure eights. But odds are you're probably just gonna be a assault rifle, and it's not even gonna be a thing. Go mole. I'm not going mole for frenetic. I'm kind of annoyed that Blue even chose the mole for frenetic because you can't see the level. Not that it's an attractive level by any means. This is kind of dumb because I'd say the Taser no pay melee. Yep, Taser's OP melee. You just hold the button down and wait for them to walk into it. Not that, I mean, pretty much fan-fucking-tastic. Gonna navigate around the dead bodies. I mean, you could say that like you can't arc over the dead bodies because that's unprofessional. There you go. There's some symbolism for you. I thought I was deep here. Yeah, I also thought that. Like, I think it would have been really cool to have a knife and like a death animation for throwing the machete. If I ever like port human being, if I ever do get around to doing that, I think that's something I'll work on. Like, fuck game balance, bro. This dude got squashed by a pool table. I always thought I was clever. Anyways, for some reason, people struggle to find this one. I was like, you wouldn't, you don't notice the movement, and then like proceed to go to the man still alive. There's old henchman. The top of his head is white. The rest of his face is black. Amsterdam blackface. Alright, so Crazy Jaden pointed out a good notification. He's not actually black. It's the exact same skin tone as the Russians in the soldier levels. Which I think is pretty smart. Did they ever explain why you can't walk over dead bodies added in? It's just that like the way they coded it in, it's like the sprite has hard edges. And they didn't differentiate between standing enemies and bodies. Can I explore the rest of this? I didn't really put a lot of effort into it. My old tan tile police station. Thanks, Burns. Look at him limp off. Ugh. You're supposed to be bad cop. No, I'm not. Part of this is police brutality the fuck out of this guy. Also, same skin color as the Colombianos conspiracy. Yeah, maybe. I don't know why they are dark skinned in the soldier levels. I honestly don't. Yeah, so like almost immediately after publishing this, Yas took a screenshot of the puppet talking to him and yeah, this stuff I haven't seen horror. Not that you say that. And like immediately he's like crawling in my skin. And it just made me realize how cringy this dialogue is. But some people in the comments said they liked it on Blue's video. Said that it was effective to them. So maybe it's not that terrible, but I don't know. I wanted him to be like. I don't think I have the writing skill to actually like accomplish what I wanted with this scene. Part of why you screaming. That was always funny to me. Just like, ah! This dude's face. My wounds, they do not heal. Alright, Frenetic. So, the whole idea of this level was to make it hard, and also, let's do just regular. Also, so this is this is back before Midnight Animal became hated. This is back when everyone was hyped for Midnight Animal. Just so you know, this is before we found out like Midnight Anime, Midnight this. Spencer's a fucking crazy person. So when I read it, Spencer was like looking for level design. It was like close quarters gunplay, and I liked the idea of like it's super compact and you have like an assault rifle and you're just point blank blasting folks and like having to use range weapons up close. And so that's where this abortion of a level was spawned. But yeah, spinning raid party. Just on the bright side, this is one of the first levels ever to include a meth lab that actually does shit. I did like the opening bit. You gotta. You just kind of start going ham fast. It's a hard level, dude. Watch Blue Doctor's playthrough of it, and you can kind of see like why he likes it. The man is very good at Hotline Miami. Also, like a pretty critical plot line is like at the very end of this one. So if you skipped it, you don't quite understand how they track down Jacket. Oh, I know, Brandon. It's too fast for me. Just enemy spam, close quarters, lots of guns, ugly floors. Like even this carpet was supposed to be like the Midnight Animal fine detailed rug. This was like right when the demo launched, I think. Maybe a little bit before that when we were just seeing like gameplay from his friends. Yeah, my nose is itching me. But I don't know. I look back and I see that it was a bad idea, but at the time I thought it was good. Hindsight is 20/20, I suppose. Damn it. Yeah, Midnight Anime, yada yada yada. Like, I was fine with the art style change. What I wasn't fine with was him just kind of acting bizarre, miserable all the time. What's the song that plays without the mod? No, I think it's New Wave Hookers. Fairly certain. We don't actually know the name of the song ever. We never figured out that. It was just like some dude like found, like some dude before the game came out was like in Russia, or not in Russia, was on like that Russian Facebook thing, the VK, and people were like, here's some leaked songs from Hotline Miami 2 before the game came out. That's not true. None of them were in the song in there, but they're all good. And he made a video on it, and like he just had a file of MP3s, and we were able to figure out all of them except for this one. One that was probably the best. Ah, shit. Rob is your profile picture made part of? No, that's me. That's me from the goofy video that I did for with my friend. Like the first one was for school. You know, I took a how-to video and I pretty much sabotaged the premise. And then the second one, everyone was like, that was a lot of fun to make. Let's make an actual like 20-minute thing. And we had fun with it. The first one's still probably better. They're both pretty stupid. But that like the look is based off that the music video for the Beastie Boys Sabotage. Good song, by the way. No, I feel like I'm getting some lag here. Why did you pick New Wave Hookers for this? Because you're supposed to have the music mod on. Wasn't really supposed to matter. For a while, I considered for Human Being 2 actually making all the songs like super unfitting for combat if you didn't have the music mod on. But I was like, nah, some people just might not want to download something from a stranger. So I was like, I understand. God, Rob. Now we wait for an entire 30 minutes for Rob to beat a single floor on his high level. You know what? Fuck you, man. I'm gonna finish this. Should have chosen a mask that would help me get through it though. Should have picked Tony or something. Hey, see? Is this the abortion of OG Pleasant? Eat shit, Plank. Alright, actually, the next floor is even worse, so I should probably have a gun. This is actually the last level that you fight Mafia in. And so I wanted it to be like I was like, oh, well, it's usually like ends on a big boss fight in a beautiful yacht or something. But like I like the idea that you had, over the course of everything, you had fucked up the Mafia operations already, that this is their hideout. This is their final stand here. Is this just trash house, essentially. They're reduced to nothing. And it was the intention at least. I don't know if I communicated it very well. Shibuya sucks. God, look at that. I want to just go back in time, grab 2016 me by the ears and be like, no, you fool! Do not release this level in the condition that it is. Colorful trash house. And this is not even as ugly as it gets. The Pardo level is also pretty tough. One thing I do say to people who are starting out with the level editor is that you have to make bad stuff before you make good stuff. You just kind of have to learn the lessons for yourself in a lot of ways. You know, you have to trial and error, figure things out. And after this campaign, I like everything else I've made after this. To varying degrees, although more and more of Human Being 2's level design is bothering me. Especially those notches. Cursed wall notches. So, yeah. Has the community made anything better than the base games? It's probably debatable. Because like some people really don't like the base game, other people really like it a lot. I would say that Snowfall reaches the same level of fidelity. That's like the highest level of fidelity I've seen that's been possible with the level editor. I firmly believe that Miami Horror can probably reach it once it comes out eventually. At least this first game. But I mean, they have the level editor has a lot of drawbacks thanks to Jonathan. They kind of crippled us at the start, not being able to edit code and not making the source code for the second game available, which makes me sad. Like if they could allow modding for the second game, like actual modding, like we had the code, like, dude, you don't even know. Just be a fucking Doom renaissance. Like, you know, Doom has all that shit. Like, Half-Life, like, dude, we'd go nuts. Other people would. I don't know how to code yet. I'm learning, though. Snowfall. Well, you pretty much have everything from the campaign now that we figured out Notepad. Yserian fucking saved the goddamn day. Just absolutely saved the goddamn day by figuring out Notepad. It makes me think that when they're making the editor, they had to like code in each object. Like if they forgot items, like it makes me think that it was just this tedious like inserting every item. Because like if you look at the files, like how the furniture is set up individually, but like it's like if you change furniture, it only changes it for the editor view, whereas the levels themselves are complete. Like they still look the same if you change the same asset, and it's because it's all like on one sheet. Too fast for you, Sunny Jim. Just teeny patrols. I was just like, fuck it. I think I was pretty busy when I was making this one. A random military room for no reason. It was like it just dumped everything that I could possibly find. I think it just turned my brain off and worked on this. I don't even know what I was thinking the entire time making it. It's truly a bizarre thing. Because like, it's not like my first level ever made. Like just the quality drop compared to some of the other levels in this one. It's just a hose just in the middle of the building. What's up? Yeah. The final level of Human Being 2 kind of has the same vibe as this. Hey now. Are you talking about the final level or the human being? Like where they're singing the human being? Because like that's actually like based off my old college campus. Because that was where I was at the time of making it. Shit. Yeah, I don't think that's a total comparison, but it is much harder. Or not much harder, but it is the difficulty curve for the last level of Human Being 2 kind of goes up a good ways. You know why? Because I was trying to make it realistic. Not actually well designed. Damn it. My luck ran out. about ready for some explosions. My favorite part of the human being is the swan. Yeah, you like that? I was pretty proud of that one. The Russian tunes. Turned out those tunes weren't even Russian. They were like some other like minority ethnicity. So people were like really pissed off that I called them Russian tunes, like actual Russians. And then so for Human Being 3, I was looking for music like with a Mexican flavor to it. I found this song and I thought like I was like, oh, this will work, and then I found out that they're Italian, and I knew like every comment ever about Human Being 3 would be about it's not actually Spanish, it's Italian, you idiot. So I know I can't use it. I can't use it. Mine was when Beanie attacked the comedians. My favorite part. Maybe Bean forgives. Yeah, the Jake level, I think I did pretty well. I like Jake's character in Human Being too. We'll get to that one eventually. I think that might be next, actually. Yeah, that's coming up next. This one next week. That'll be next week. So the cops. So another thing, this level was so long, and horrible, that the cops had time to catch up to Jack it before he fully cleared it. So a song about tacos? No, not quite. Actually, the band's name was El Talco, Talco. Turns out they're like Italian communists. God damn it! That was a reference to Max Payne 3. He's a hunchback. I didn't bother changing him. You somehow gave Corey less of a character. That was intentional. The whole point was Corey has no personality. Don't ship her with anybody. It's gay. Hey now, Derpity. Yeah, so what I wanted to do is have Pardo in his SWAT outfit for this level, but you can't have mods only work for certain levels, which made me very sad. Very, very sad. And so what I could have done is found another person for Pardo in the to reskin him for when he's just walking around. But he did have the dream level where I did want him in his correct outfit. Point is, I wish he had been in the SWAT outfit with everyone else. Raise. Trade of having breasts. Yeah. I thought it was so cool for having him jump out of the van at first. It's just, anytime I see like a vehicle interior made out of walls, it always makes me laugh now. Like it's so weird looking. And like the steering wheel was made out of used a trash bag. Oh my goodness. So if you pay attention, these guys actually kill people. Took me a very long time to get that to work. But I wanted it to make it look like Pardo wasn't the only one raiding this building. Yeah, people hate this level too. It's not as infamous, but I hate it because this is boring. I just use this one kind of tile. It's so lazy. Two kinds like this. Like, I'll bitch at people for using boring tiles, and it's like, because I've done it in the past and I know how bad it is. Shotgun flip. Abandoned Billy check. This is not 100% darkness. Yeah, he used multiple hotline, like he used multiple layers of darkness, which is never a good idea. One layer is good enough. I'm just getting caught on items. Because no thought was put into the level design. None. I do like the song though. God. Where do you think that fat went? Hey Dappy, quit pimping your shit in chat. I'll block you. I'll ban your privileges. The campaign where everything was fudging black. Oh yeah, those like just shitty MA ripoffs where it's like trying to be the edge, but even fails at that. It's just use black carpet and like a black reskin for the walls. Holy shit, I can't believe I survived that. I love pistol enemies. They're so non-lethal. Oh no! You guys design it. Are you talking about the that Richard campaign where the enemies are also black? It's an interesting idea. I don't think it worked very well, but it was an interesting idea nonetheless. I do remember that campaign. Got like a 5 combo just by blind firing. Map knowledge, yo. An 8-bit theme. I don't. There's that Mario and Pac-Man, two like biker things that were alright. Humorous, if anything. Shit. Missed him. This was the hardest floor in my opinion. I think I just got through it though. I thought I died there because I couldn't move. Stuck on a mannequin. That little shooting innocent surrendering is supposed to blur the line between good guy and bad guy. Did it succeed? It's up to you to decide, I suppose. And so the other guys got fucked up too. Off-screen death for Burns. So here's how you do dream levels, kids. If anything, I think Rooster Files has a good dream level. At least some of the trippy environments like this. It's supposed to be the exact bathroom being mirrored as he's looking at himself in the mirror. The badge. Not the character we know little about. It was his partner, dude. Yeah, the prayer is lifted straight from The Departed. he's too gruff for therapy. Yay, dream levels. .21 gun salute, except that police don't have rifles, so I had to give them shotguns. You hate dream levels, eh? Then you can leave. I mean, at this point, we've gotten too many of them. But in 2016, this shit was cutting edge, let me tell you. Especially because it was more than just using the bug filter overlay with Richard talking to you. And it was a bit more involved as your hallway becomes a jungle. And then we've got like freeze frames. So here's the biggest kicker, is that this entire campaign started out with this floor in mind. Like, I just had the idea of a police officer or Pardo in this dream, like looking at the dude he's been hunting, like freeze framed. Like, that was like the whole reason for doing this campaign, is I liked is this one scene that I loved, which for some reason I based off nothing that we've been playing. I wanted him his flag fully out for the kick execution for kicking down the door, but it didn't work out. Him dumping water on people. Like, this was the whole idea. It's like I liked that right here. It's the freeze frame shotgun boof. Like, this was the very first seeds of where I got the idea to make this. Spooky Slither. Alright, so... And then I started taking, like, the locations that actually happened and making them, warped in his dream. Like, this is the octopus. Do you remember that? Remember the octopus? No, Pardo's killing Mafia in his dream. Also, I don't know why I put the fans there. I just thought it was cool. See, Pardo wants to be it. So now we're rolling the PTSD, and we need to kill some Colombians reskinned as soldiers. Which I thought was good. Now he's having now it's just a full-time war flashback. Ah! I always forget. I purposefully hit him in a plant just to be comfy. Usually, I usually am very against that, but it was kind of an intentional thing here. You should make a fans campaign. I considered it. Cutscene at the start of a combat level. Yeah, hey, I told you, like, a lot of the things I say not to do, I've done at one point, and that's why I know that they're bad. So yeah, I get that I shouldn't have done it. What are you gonna do about it, bitch? And then we got it. I should have called it out though. I'm just so used to it, I guess. So if you saw that, it's because you ran through an invisible wall. If you don't actually want people doing that, what you can do is place a normal wall, and then you can notepad in the -1 sprite value, and it'll be true invisible walls. Which is actually super useful. I always like this, the ninja military, which is samurai sword. So what you're telling me? Workplace dating is bad from experience? Did I say that to you? Did I? Because I mean, it's true. Yeah, I dated a girl that I went to camp with. Like we were employees at the camp. We were counselors, and then I went back the next year after I dumped her. And it was awkward as fuck. and we had bathroom cleaning duty together at one point, and it was pouring down rain. And she took the keys. And I was like having to search for her all over the goddamn campus, covered in rain, looking for the keys to the supply closet. Dumb bitch. So wait, yeah. So yeah, Daffy, learn from my mistakes, not your own. I didn't even get him. All right. It was about Old Bureau. You were reading dialogue. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see myself saying that because I know I've said it in the past. Ooh. That's another thing that bothered me about, maybe two, small little nitpick, is the guys that crawl don't crawl forever anymore. I would have preferred that. Yada, play the campaign. You want to know what that says. This is decent dialogue-ish. I don't know. Maybe you don't like it. I like it. Fuck you. This is my attempt at showing that the car is locked down. So put the boat rope on it. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. Don't worry about it, sir. So yeah, Parta didn't even track the guy down. Actually, his cop buddy's dead. They're gonna go raid. It's not even Parta doesn't even do anything to find him. So yeah. So I think I skipped over the dialogue because I'm just so used to playing through this. But at the end of Frenetic, Jacket dropped his big old bulky cell phone, and that's how they traced him. But he rigged his old room, and now he's at a ironically nicer location. Dead ahead, but it's in Jacket's car. It's just really, really cramped. There's some foreshadowing that you get a choice. I should show you. So it's suicide to go through the main door without doing anything. I intentioned that so he has to fire through the wall. Designed that because I like the idea of just the bullets flying through the windows as you're just dumping a shotgun down the hall. But then you have to actually kill these dudes and it's tedious. So whoops. Plus your soldiers, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh well, I guess. Also, if you throw your weapon and knock them over, it just breaks the whole thing. Yeah, so let's take the revolver. I am now no longer Jacket. I am Hammer Jacket. Yeah. So I had to have this conversation with Lego Mac recently about how streets don't actually work in Hotline Miami, and I've done it twice now. Human Being 1 or Human Being 2, and this has utilized streets. it doesn't really work. Because Hotline Miami, like the whole gameplay is kind of the idea of a street and then Hotline Miami's gameplay, like the two things don't mesh together. It's like the most poorly designed floor of this level because of it. Because more realism. Damn it, Reb. I think it dropped a... No, it's just a shotgun. It's not a Mendoza. Yeah. Hammer the jacket is the best jacket. I like the original jacket. Thing is, Hammer's playstyle is actually really boring. It's just his benefit is he can fight every faction and hold almost all the weapons. Except for most of the fun weapons. I love his character design. His big poofy hair and chin. That's a caricature of the actual guy. Hilarious. Hilarious. So, yeah, this is my attempt at having combat on a subway. Who did the best? It was that guy that did the hard trip, and we still don't know the notepad how he got the background to move. But like your character's like stuck until you execute somebody. It's kind of weird. And then that dude, Janja, like he also figured out the character swap thing. Like the dude's a notepad wizard. It's too bad that he just disappeared one day. The fucking Russian government put him in a gulag. Like, I honestly don't know what happened to the kid. It makes me kind of sad. You've made it. Or not. Bum bum bum. So yeah. Now you get to choose. So another campaign that I reviewed recently that you guys haven't gotten to see yet. I'm not gonna say it, but there's a choice like to end the campaign like 2 levels early. And I don't really like that because I feel like I'm just missing out by making that choice. Like you really are kind of limited in choose your own adventure style for this game. It's really like which ending, like you can't have 2 different cutscenes, essentially is what I'm saying. So the only kind of choice you can have is, do I end now or do I keep going? Or something like this where it was just like, do you kill him or not? It doesn't matter. But I feel like this kind of constructed it a little bit better than, oh, you can just leave. It's like, but you know, whatever. So chat, tell me, should I kill him or not? Probably should have asked this early because of the delay. But I'll let you guys listen to the Spec Ops The Line song as I wait. Kill, kill, kill. Let him live. Alright, we got 3 for murder, 1 for let him live. He'll commit suicide anyways. Alright. So those are my 2 campaigns that I don't like that I've made. I mean, that's a bit cruel. I mean, I like everything that I've done, but these are the worst. These are definitely the worst things that I've made. So next time, I think, unless I'm an idiot and I've totally forgotten, I think next is Human Being 2. So that'll be fun to go through Human Being 2. Talk about what works, what doesn't, because some of the level design's starting to age on that boy. But yeah, hopefully I'll probably announce it before I actually do it, because a lot of people have some good memories with Human Being 2. Cannon jacket, that's confirmed, but it is confirmed. Anyways, thanks for watching my stream, you guys. This was fun. Don't know what I'll do next. But, I'll definitely be doing this more in the future. So, yeah. Stay subscribed. Come back. Yep, next up, Human Being 2, No Beans About It. I did end up removing the, title, or the subtitle. Overall, this campaign is a 5 out of 10. Oh yeah, derpity derp. Did I ever tell you about how dumb it is to give fucking... No! You can't get arbitrary ratings to games. It's dumb. 5 out of 10. Your fucking mom's a 5 out of 10. Tell you that. Bitch.